and today we're at the Star in Bentley.
From the Star we're going to walk in this direction past the village stores and follow the main road. Now you may recognise the name of Bentley and you think, well, have I heard that before? Well, Bentley starred as Radio 4 and ITV's 1990 series The Village. You might remember the farmer Tony and the village policeman and so on and so on. Also, strangely, I didn't know this and I thought I would have done, is that it was the home of Robert Baden Powell, who formed the Scout movement and Guide movement. It's also the home of Harold Sanderson, who was the owner of the White Star Line. We reach Rectory Lane and we're going to follow the finger post and turn right. Nice little lane, this. At the bottom of Rectory Lane we have a footbridge that will take us across the controversial Bentley bypass that was the focus of the ITV programme. And there's the A31 now. I remember in the village programme, I think it was Tony the farmer, was very much against the road cutting through his land. I mean, I can't imagine all this traffic going through the village anymore, so it's obviously very necessary. And you can't hear it from the village, so it's not so bad. But yeah, so there it is. Anyway, we continue across the bridge. Now, there's the sewage works. Don't know whether it smells or not, I don't think so. Trev says not. But right next to it, it's quite a very nice bungalow. So we come off the bridge, bungalow, sewage works, and the footpath goes right in between. There we go. There's neighbourhood watch down there apparently. And suddenly we're out into the glorious Hampshire countryside. A glorious day. About time we had some decent weather. I'm just following the footpath round. So this is the River Wey North. The River Wey is odd in that it's got a north section and a south section. And the north section starts just down the road at Alton there in a field. Apparently there's a little sign in the field to say source of the Wey, but it's not very inspiring apparently. The southern section, it rises at Hazelmere and they join up at Tilford. Now the Wey is a tributary of the Thames. It's 87 miles long in total with the north and south branches. The section after it joins up is 20 miles long and it also becomes the Wey and Godalming navigation. So leaving the Wey and the little footbridge and the cows behind, carry on through the field. Now having crossed the stile, we Follow the footpath forwards. We turn right into a little residential road. Lovely house there, Bentley House. And it's right opposite Bentley Station, which is a fair way from the village, isn't it? Let's have a little look at Bentley Station for the railway buffs.
Platform 1 for the 1102 South Western Railway service to Alton. Calling at Alton only. This train has 4 carriages.
So this is the Alton to Aldershot line, and formerly it went on down in this direction to Winchester along what is now the Watercress line and the Watercress Way walking trail. Just off this line down here there was the Borden branch line for the Borden Light Railway that opened in 1905, closed in 1966. And in turn, branching from that was the Longmoor Military Camp Railway. And you may recognise that from the Great St Trinian's train robbery film. So, having looked at the station, we're going back to the road and we're going to turn left along the road. I hope the bin men don't make too much noise. Well, there's one I haven't heard about, Beefest. That's a very nice new build in the village, it's very in keeping. Making bin day with all the bins out. Lovely bit of thatch. Lovely old cottage. Whoa, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. You'll certainly be able to hear it. I think there's a swarm of bees or wasps. One thing's for sure, I wouldn't be walking through it. And there's the reason, there's a nest up there. Wow. And at the end of the road we're going to turn right towards Bentley. So after a few yards we're going to turn left towards Isington and the Mill Farm Trail. Wonder what that is. And we carry on past the old foresters' cottages. Now don't be tempted by the finger post, we're carrying on down the lane. Excuse my voice, got a cold. Well, I hope we come to that Mill Farm Trail soon. I'm itching to know what it's all about. Dog walking farm maybe? There's another finger post to avoid. We are walking down this lovely lane, listening to the birds. He's tame. Like a wibbly wobbly hedge. And we're just entering the village of Isington. And had a very famous resident I'll tell you more about shortly. At Egger's Cottage, we're going to turn down towards Froyle and Alton. That's just the sort of letterbox that robins would nest in. In my years on the post office, it wasn't unknown. We continue down the hill, back into the river valley. So this is Isington Mill, and it's got a very famous claim to fame. Now Isington Mill was a 19th century corn mill, and the corn was used to ferment into malt.
These oasts on the end, they were used to hang hops and dry them for the beer making process, because Alton at one time was a big beer making centre. Now at one time this little stretch of the Wey had more mills per mile than any other river in Britain, and they totalled 16 mills at one point. I said before, this mill had a bit of a tale to tell about its famous owner. It was dilapidated by the Second World War, but after the war a certain chap called Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery of Alamein found it. Now he wanted a place a bit like the Duke of Wellington's really, for all the service he'd done to the country, but the country's finances didn't stretch to it. But he fell in love with Isington Mill, and he moved here in 1947, completely refurbishing it. And he must have liked it, because he stayed here until his death in 1976. And he's buried up the road at the Holy Cross Church in Binsted. Now, Field Marshal Montgomery, for those that don't know, commanded the 8th Army and the 7th Armoured Division. And is famous for commanding the Desert Rats. That's not a bad place to live your life out after the war, is it? We've taken a bit of a diversion after the walk to the village of Binsted. It's a couple of miles away from Isington Mill, and this is the Church of Holy Cross. And this beautiful church in this pretty village is the final resting place of Field Marshal Montgomery, Monty. And you could be a million miles away from war here. And here, on the very edge of the churchyard, looking the beautiful scenery of Hampshire, just the bird song, is the grave of Field Marshal Montgomery, Monty. And it's lovely to see that so many people have left things as thanks. Poppy wreaths, crosses, and so on, for Monty's big part in winning the Second World War for Great Britain. And indeed, the freedom of the world. So just over the bridge from the mill, there's a finger post taking us to the right. Across a stile, across a much lesser trod path. Tower on the chalky soil. We'll look at the flint just on top of the field. Something, you know, the Wey is supposed to be a chalk stream too, but it doesn't look as clean and clear as most. So it's really surprising how little walk this path is. It's lovely countryside, and you're looking for a hole in the bush. Hopefully as more of you do it, it will get clearer. I think we're heading down here. That seems to be where the path is indicated. That was a good guess. There's the finger post. That wasn't too bad, and lo and behold, there's a little footbridge. That makes a change. There's a shepherd's hut that nobody's actually camping in. Doing its old agricultural job. And it was built locally by Hetherington and Smith of Alton. Don't think you'd want to be camping in it at the moment. Anyway, we carry on. We're walking this way to the right. I don't think they like the look of us. We have to cross over this stile and continue left. Tiptoe through the sheep droppings here. Plenty of long grass there, they're not the scaredy sheep like the other ones. In fact, more long grass than you could shake a sheep at. Wow, Hampshire Countryside Services, I know you've got a lot to do, but it could do with some attention round here. Very nice bit of rolling Hampshire countryside. Not much visited by walkers by the looks of it, although the St Swithin's Way does go past the pub. Now at the end of the field, we turn left over a stile to follow another field. And a nice tennis court, and an even nicer lawn. But we carry on. Now we've skirted Bentley Green Farm. I'll carry on down the driveway to the right. So back onto a fairly main road. We turn left to head back towards the village, cross over the A31 bypass, and then we turn right at the end of this road to walk back to the pub. There we got some friendly alpacas. Hello, hello. Lovely. Baden Powell with Olave lived in Blackacre Farm here in Bentley. I don't think we're going to pass it, but I'll mention it on the way back to the Star. And they bought the house courtesy of Olave's father. Very nice MG. And they renamed it Pax Hill. For anyone that's watching, there's a garden fete there on the 30th of June. If you fancy going and have a look at the place. We're literally here where it says Bentley Green. To the right, this way, is the Star. But Baden Powell's place, Pax Hall, Peace Hall, is left down the road and up a long drive. And there's a pretty good potted history of Bentley. And And there's the war memorial for the village. There's this one little village, all those people. War, a terrible thing. After our little diversion, we have turned left. No, we haven't, we've turned right. Let's walk back to the pub.
So that was a lovely 5-mile walk. So many famous people lived in this village. Baden Powell the biggest thrill for me, to be honest with you. Anyway, as I say, it was 5 miles. Very nice walk. A lot of the paths unwalked. So if you like the walk, then please like and subscribe. But myself and Trev are now going to go in and have some lunch. So follow me.
We got some ghosties in this pub. That was Vanessa. She didn't want to appear on the film, but she just did. But she tells us that there's lots of noises in the pub, and those glasses up there sometimes wobble of no accord. So there we are. Anyway, we're going to have some lunch.